Hey guys, this is Lisa with Bored as Heck Crafts. Yeah, bored as heck. It kind of describes why I started doing some of these crafts in the first place. I was recovering from a open heart surgery, a bypass surgery, and I couldn't get out into my garden, which is the main focus of my life up to that point. Um, to do my gardening, grow our food. So I can't just sit, and if you've had bypass surgery, you know it takes quite a while to heal. So I started pouring resin, and that led to jars and jars of cabochons, which led to wire wrapping jewelry, which has led down this rabbit hole, which is making boho bracelets that I just started. So essentially, I've only been doing the crafts I'll be showing you for about a year, so I am not an expert. I'm still very much learning. And so I decided my homesteading channel, which has to do with gardening and cooking, and I did some craft videos, that I needed to do crafts for another venue. So this is it. This is my first video. And before we get started, why don't you go ahead and subscribe and leave a comment and give me a thumbs up. The thumbs up and the commenting help me with the algorithm, and of course subscribing, we'll see how fast we can grow the channel. Although that's not really my focus. My focus is having fun. So the way I'm going to structure the channel is I'll be doing some original things and showing you how to do them. But because I learned almost all my skills through watching YouTube videos, I will try to redo or reenact a video that taught me a certain skill. And I'll put that link down below in the description so that you can go and watch the pro do it. And I'm kind of fumble-fingered, so my idea is to try to recreate what they were teaching in the tutorial. And of course, everyone who does the tutorials makes what they're doing look super easy. It's not always super easy. So you can watch me bumble along with my bumble fingers, and I'm also dyslexic, so sometimes I get things backwards. You can go ahead and laugh at me. But you can see where I had difficulty. And hopefully you'll watch me. My videos are going to be pretty long. So hopefully you'll grab some herbal tea and sit down and you know, enjoy a long video, and then go watch the pro do it and see if you want to try this particular craft. My second idea for a name for this channel was Down a Rabbit Hole, because I see these neat things on YouTube and I go down a rabbit hole. And when I start into a craft, I go whole hog. I have to get all sorts of colors and things to choose, you know, to do from. So part of the lead into this video, I think I'm going to stick a leader of showing my craft stations. I've got 3 craft stations in this house. I've got one on the back porch where I do the resin because you don't want fumes in the house. I've got one in our home office that I can sit and do the jewelry, the wire wrapping, while taking care of business and working. And then I've got this room, which was the guest room. We've taken the bed apart and whatever, and it's just dedicated to crafts and videoing. I guess I've got a 4th area. What used to be the dining room is full of fiber art with yarns and, about 8 looms, you know, from floor looms to ankle looms. And I'll include some of that in this channel too. So the whole house is like dedicated to Lisa's crafts, and then my husband has a woodworking shop out back. So that's all we do is go down rabbit holes with making things. You gotta have a hobby, right? So I saw this video on making making, I guess they call it woven stone with stone boho bracelets. And I've already learned a couple of things. Here's my first one. This, that's a real stone. It's called a donut. And then I used 3 mil rawhide to tie it with. And these are porcelain beads from Japan with the Japanese blue flowers on it. And these are, I think these are from Nepal. Nepalese spacer beads or Tibet. Anyway, I thought they made an interesting combination, but this is heavy as hell. I don't mind heavy jewelry, you know, I think it's pretty enough, but I wasn't listening close enough to the video, the tutorial, when she told us to use 1 mil waxed cord. I heard cord and thought leather cord. So what did I do? I bought a bunch of it. And I'll use it for something eventually. And then I bought more rawhide, but this is like 1.5 mil. And then it dawned on me that she was talking about this stuff, which is the 1 mil. This is a waxed cord. And you see the difference in size. Now, why does that make a difference? Well, because the holes on beads won't necessarily let these cords through. So these beads actually allow this mother of all cord thickness through. And then I switched over to the 1 mil, and these were actually they're kind of a lavender on porcelain, and those are 4 millimeter copper beads. And this is a real amethyst for the center bead. Now, the amethyst didn't come with a wrapping already with the veils on the sides, which you'll see in the professional tutorial that I'll link below that I learned from. So I was able to use my wire wrapping skills to put a wire through here and create my own endings to tie off on. I have included a really quick tutorial at the end of this video on how to do that, which combines my wire wrapping skills with this new skill here. So in the video, I will be making for you, for the camera, this bracelet. Okay? Now I used different types of agate. You can see that I used the another donut, and this time brass beads. I get my metal, most of my wire from Rio Grande. I'll put that below, or Parawire, but this is Rio Grande beads. And the reason I'm doing this after making this bracelet, doing this intro, is because I forgot to turn the mic on for the original one. Go figure. But one of the things that I need to tell you that I lost the demonstration on, is how to tie on to the donut. Now, I guess before I go much further, I should probably show you the tools I use. Well, let me grab a donut to show you how you're going to tie on. So what you're going to really use is a measuring tape, something to hold the beads that you're going to dedicate for your project, some pliers, jewelry pliers if you have them, I use a flush cutter, which some people use for electronics. Your cord, your beads, and that's really about it. So what I did was I cut, using this measuring tape, I cut 2 lengths of cord, 24 inches long, and 2 lengths, 26 inches long. And each side of the donut gets 2 cords, one of the shorter ones, one of the larger ones. And to tie onto it, all you're going to do is fold your cord in half, pull it up through the donut, and then pull the length through. I'm going to go ahead and cut that just to show you what that looks like. But let me measure it out so I don't waste it, I don't random length it. Let's see, so 24. That's 24. So once you've cut your 4 pieces, you can lay that to the side. Divide that, by half. Put the loop up through the hole in the donut. Or if you're using a stone like this, see, this is one I went ahead and used my wire wrapping to make the ends on. You'd be going through there, okay? But this is easier to see on camera, I think. So we've got the loop through here, and we're going to pull. I pulled it all the way out. You're going to pull this wire, or the rope, I guess we should say, through that loop, and then pull that shut. And you're going to do that with the other piece. You put them together and just pull it through. You do that on both sides, okay? Then when you get to the point where you're going to start actually stringing your beads, you're going to end up with 2 cords this length and 2 cords that are going to be longer. The longer ones are going to go off to the side, and these 2 shorter cords are what you're going to put your beads on. Okay? So with that said, let's get into the bulk of the video. It is going to be long. Sit back. Don't be in a rush. You can watch it in parts. But I hope I'm able to inspire you to maybe try this. Okay? I backed the camera out a little bit, and here's my piece of cardboard. And what I'm going to do is gotta decide which side you like for front and which is back. I don't think it matters much. So you're going to want to put that over the top, fold it over the top of the cardboard. And you get one of these, binder clips. Use that on the top. And just clamp it down. And that just holds it steady for you, okay? You can picture this on some really nice wood instead of using this ugly old cardboard. But cardboard's cheap. Most of us have ordered things and they come in boxes. So in a pinch, use that. So here we are. Remember, we've got two strings that are 2 inches longer. Or in this case, 1.5 inches longer than the the middle strings. And I'm just going to put those over the end here. And now we are going to start threading our beads. So I start with one side. I think I'll start with the brass. And these are 4mm brass from Rio Grande. And I do a brass, a Jasper, brass, Jasper, brass, Jasper, and brass. Now that might be long enough for the bracelet. So what I'm going to do is we're going to measure that plus about 1.5 inches for you know, this part here that we tie a knot, and then do the slider to clasp it. So we're going to double this, right? That's doubled, plus the width of the stone. So the finished thing is going to be about 10 inches. So that might be way big. So why don't we do one less. Well, let's look at what I did over here, because those are about the same size stone. And I've got 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. I've only got 3. So, according to this bracelet, which is perfect size for me, I only need 3 beads with the spacer beads. So now we're going to repeat that on the other side. What do you think? Is that pretty? I'm going to do an overhand knot here to basically hold everything in place so I don't have to chase these back and forth on this string. So I just wrap it over my finger and pull it through. But I'm not going to pull it too tight because I'm going to have to untie that. So here comes the part that I'm really fumble-fingered with. Okay. So we're going to wrap this one underneath. What's going to happen is we're going to take this over the top and you can start this if you're left-handed or right-handed on either side, but you push your first 2 beads up and you're going to cross it over like that. Okay? Okay, so maybe I need to zoom in just a little bit closer for you to watch the wrapping part. Maybe that's good, huh? Alright. So now I'm going to take the cord that's to the right of the bundle, and I'm going to wrap it going this way. But you want to stage your beads so they're at a diagonal. Okay? So I've got this cord here. And I'm going to lay it in between those two beads there. Do you see that? Then I take the cord back under the bundle of beads. I kind of hold it firmly. Slide the next two beads into position at an angle so that they're alternating. Wrap that. You see how I did that? Boom, boom. Using this finger to hold down the cord, right? So then I take it and I wrap it this way around the next two. I'm going to pull that a little bit to try to get things a little bit tighter up together. Slide these two beads up, holding that down and trying not to use bad words. As I say, it can be fiddly. Okay. See what I did there? I'm going to add that to the overhand knot. So, two beads at an angle, wrapped below them, come back around, put the next two beads at an angle, wrap over them, put the next two beads in place, and you just repeat that all the way down the strand. Okay? Now on the other side, you're going to reverse this. When you get down to the bottom of the cord, now you're going to untie your overhand knot here. Because you don't need to keep in place anymore. And what you're hearing is my dog snoring, not me making rude noises. You hear that? That's Sassy Lassie snoring. She's getting up in age. She's about 8 years old now. See? Fiddly diddly. Everything's fiddly. Yeah, this is only my third bracelet ever. So I'm figuring this out with you as you're figuring out with me. Okay. So now I'm going to take that cord. It's like tying a tie. You know, a necktie. Bring it back under and over. Do you see what I did there? I brought it back under And then now I'm over all the other two cords, the middle cords. And that ties a little bit of a knot there for you. Yeah, you see that? Kind of pretty, isn't it? As you saw, I was wrapping this one direction. I came in, I made sure that the beads were a little bit offset, right? And wrapped it around, then offset these, wrapped it around, offset these, and ended up coming down here. And below the last beads, I made a loop and threaded the cord back through and pulled it up, so we've got a little bit of a knot here, right? So now we need to do this with this side. But we're going to do the opposite. So we're going to come around this side. I'm going to come in between these two beads. Bring this under without catching it on the cardboard over here. Bring this under. Through these two. And between these two. Putting that a little bit tighter. Then I would say before you tie off that knot that you want to go make sure that the wraps are correct. So you've got two directions here, two directions here. Need to do this bottom knot, which again, it's going to be like tying a tie, a necktie. And my dog's in here wondering what the heck I'm doing, who I'm talking to. So, if you're a member of my other channel, which is Our Georgia Suburban Homestead, you know who Bamsey is. I don't like that. Okay. So I'm wondering if you can monkey with this once you've got it woven. Nope. Those are pretty well set. So I don't know what happened there, but other than that, it looks pretty good. And we do one little overhand knot down here at the end. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the other side off camera and come back and show you once we've tied this off overhand. See how I did that? You want that as close to the beads as possible. Just that one little overhand knot. Give you an idea what it's going to look like. See, that goes from the middle of my wrist to the middle of my wrist. So that's going to be just perfect for this side's bead. So I'm going to do this other side, and then I'll come back and show you how to do the slip knot, which is the adjustable knot thing. Okay? So, this is the finished weaving. Got a knot on either end. I did discover while doing the other side that I needed to hold these ends in my teeth and have tension in order to get the wrapping to work properly. So you need some tension. And the good thing about overhand knots is you can monkey with them until they're tight enough for you. So now what we're going to do is bend them up so they're at the same side. And we're going to come down just a little bit and do more overhand knots. One on each side. Okay, you see how I did that? And then we're going to want to tie the other side to match. And again, overhand knots are pretty forgiving, so that you can, tie and untie until you get it where you want it. Just wrap it around your finger and then push it over and through the hole. That's an overhand knot. I didn't quite get that even. But you know what? Let me see. We can make this one shorter because we don't need that much room. So measuring that out, and I need to back that knot down to here. So when you back it out, you just loosen it. You don't totally undo it. Ack. Let's see. Does that look even? It does, doesn't it? Okay. Cut about 14 inches. I want to put these end to end like that. And now you're going to do some, gosh, I don't remember what this knot is called. It's not a slip knot. Anyway, I don't know what it's called. So we're going to just do like you're tying a shoelace. And tie that around it, okay? Then you're going to do one under one over. And this is going to go through that loop underneath here. And this is going to go under this loop. Now, the lady in the tutorial called it a pretzel, and that is kind of a pretzel, isn't it? Yeah. So I'll do 3 of these, just because I believe in working in 3s. There's 1. Whoops. Remember to go under. Over. Through this hole. Got a pretzel. Pull it tight. That's 2 of them. Under the whole bundle, over the top, through the loop. Through there. And then I don't trust it, so I'm going to do one more knot, overhand knot, on the top. And what this will do is it'll slide. Make a liar out of me. It'll slide so you can adjust the size of the bracelet. So I'm going to cut that there and cut this here. Oh, hello, Damsy. Damsy's brought us a toy, you all. What you got? Happy fur baby. So, did you see what I did there? Now you can take a lighter and melt these together. But basically the way this works is you can pull these side knots to make the bracelet smaller. Pull them the other way with these knots here. Okay. Tighter, loosey-gooseier. Hold that with one hand, pull with the other, and adjust it to the tightness you want to wear it. So this is with using the really thick rawhide, and again it's going to be difficult to find beads that the 3mm can go through. This was 1mm, much easier to find beads. And this was 1mm. So that's 3 bracelets. 3 very different looks. I'm willing to bet, you know, I'm always ambitious and I do things, make things a lot tougher on myself than they have to be. And I'm willing to bet using this same size bead as the tutorial I have below shows is probably a lot easier than fighting with it like I did. But as you see, the first one I made is kind of sloppy. Second one's a little bit better. Third one's really nice. So it just took me 3 of them to kind of get it down. Now I promised you a bonus, and that's with how to make the loops if you're going to use a stone. If you're doing any wire wrapping, then you know what I mean about creating a head pin. So head pins are real easy. Once I get this off, come on, come on off. It wants to be part of me. All right. So. Let's try this with the tiger eye. Now, the size wire you're going to use is going to depend on the size of your hole. I'd like to use half-hard copper because it's got a little more integrity. This is 18. And as the numbers go down, the wire gets thicker, okay? So I'm going to see, does this fit the hole? Be nice if I was trying to put it through the hole. And it goes in, but it's not coming out the other side. Let me see. Sometimes they don't, they're not uniform all the way through. And this is one of those cases. There it goes. So you want to slip your bead on and give it probably come on, fumble fingers. I'm going to give it 1.5 inches or 1.25 inches on each side. Of course, I've done this a bazillion times, and it doesn't give me trouble. I get on camera and it gives me trouble. When in doubt, use your thumb. Take your flesh color cutter, I always feel for rough edges. Mash it down. If you still have a rough edge, you can take a file. I have a file here. And smooth off any, just round off the edge to the wire. Looks pretty good to me. Just to be safe, I'm going to file it this other side just a little. You don't want any roughness to that. Although, when you start wrapping cord through it, it's going to cover that anyway. So there you've got, just make sure it's twisted till you've got the circle on both sides. And you can start and use that as your large stone, your center stone. Alright, so that's it for video number 1 of bored as heck crafting. So I hope you're not bored as heck by the end of this video, that you were able to follow it, give me a comment. Subscribing doesn't cost you anything. Be one of the first people to subscribe. Thumbs up helps the algorithm, and commenting helps the channel. So let's see how long it takes to grow this channel, if it grows at all. So that was making a corded bracelet with real stone beads, and so stay tuned for the next video. I don't know when they'll be out, but I'll get bored soon and have to do another one. Until next time, be good to each other, and happy beading. Bye.